Hello, this is Shanker, and I'm discussing the horoscope of Yogi Adityanath. Now, 5/6/1972, I hope this is right, and this is important for me. And then it is 1400 hours, Pauri Garhwal, Uttarakhand. With this details, we see his horoscope. Now, if I look at his horoscope, my Nadi system, you would see that he has Rahu in his 10th in Makar, right, which is 12th to moon. He has Saturn and Sun together, which is not very good. He has Mars and Venus together, which is not very good. Now, let me explain you one very important thing here. The malefic planets today in Kali Yuga are very important for power. If you want to have money and power, it is the planet which are malefic in nature will give you that power and prestige. Without the malefics, you cannot get power and prestige. It is like this, that malefics basically, you have a situation where where there are two brothers and one brother says, I am a millionaire, I have a house, I have a car, I fly foreign abroad, I can mint money, I can give all the luxuries of life. And there's another brother who says, I have nothing of all this, but I have a very good wife, I have mother staying with me, and I am very happy. Now, if that is the situation, what would you say? The malefics give rise to the first person. वो जो कहता है कि मेरे पास करोड़ों है, मेरे पास घर है, मेरे पास गाड़ी है, मेरे पास बंगला है, मैं बाहर भी जाता हूँ, अब मेरे को जो चाहिए मैं मिल सकता है, मेरे को जो भी भोग करना है मैं भोग विलास कर सकता हूँ। दूसरा है वो कहता है मैं भोग विलास तो कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ, मैं दाल रोटी खाता हूँ, माँ मेरे साथ रहती है, बहन मेरे साथ रहती है और मेरे बीबी हैं, बच्चे हैं, थोड़ा है, हम खुश हैं। Now I don't know. So that is the first part is when the benefics are strong. Second part is when the malefics are strong or when the planets are debilitated. This is what you have to understand in Kali Yuga. This is a very important thing which you should keep in mind. Now, in his horoscope, you will see Jupiter having Rahu in front shows family issues. That's for sure. Jupiter with Rahu in the second house, he has no family, we know about it. And even if it was somebody else's horoscope, I would have said, even if there is a family, there will be problem. He has Sun and Saturn together. Now, this is one of the worst combination, which actually spoils Mars-Venus, which spoils, relationship, wife, those kinds of things you do not get, you really do not get in life. So, we know those things are there and they're not lacking. And the horoscope becomes actually powerful in any case, in any person after the age of 40 to 45, whenever Sun and Saturn are together. However, I've always seen that whenever Sun and Saturn, Mercury are together, the third aspect, that is their aspect to the third aspect is very good. And Sun, Saturn, Mercury, remember, there's a thumb rule, Sun and Saturn together. And please remember the Sun and Saturn, while I'm explaining Adityanath's horoscope, it is also a way of explaining principles of astrology, because you just can't, in short videos you can say, but here, whenever Sun and Saturn are together, it may spoil a lot of things. It may not give you a good married life, it may make you struggle in life, so many things could be there, but it always starts giving you good results after the age of 42. And the third aspect is very good. Here, this third aspect is coming on Cancer. Now, Cancer is nothing but the house of masses. However, Ketu is also there. So this shows masses, but there is Ketu katta hai, dissection. And Ketu is also the flag. It is also a representative of Hanuman. It's a flag. Even on, Mahabharata, they say the flag which was there, that is Ketu. So Ketu is also the flag. So it also shows, a great kind of appeal to the masses, but Ketu also shows flag as well as katna, dissection. So that is one thing which is there. in his horoscope. Now let us see what is there in the near. What do I see? I mean, if I rotate Jupiter 12, 24, 36, 48, 12, 24, 36, 48 to 60. 48 to 60, he is governed by Mars. And Mars from this, it is in its third. It is with Venus, it gets the aspect of Jupiter, right? And it has Ketu ahead. Ketu is like, so 48 to 60 is generally a good period for the native. From the age of 48 to 60 is generally a good period of native. There will be ups and downs, but generally a good period where he will have some divine protection. I mean, great amount of divine protection. He will operate from a Sagittarian mode. So his mode would be, put the bow and arrow, keep on target. You know what your target is. Arjun's, the Machli Katha, the Arjun's eye. His whole approach will be like that of an Arjun's eye. Keep on putting the bow on the arrow and then shoot only when the time is right. That is what will be the approach of this person from the age of 48 to 60. And apart from being, Mars is with Venus and it has Ketu ahead and it has Saturn, Sun and Mercury together. So it is not that the person is a commander-in-chief, a very good, not only a good executor, but he will be also a person who can, grapple with three balls. He can juggle with three balls. I mean, this is not the perception, but astrologically I see that. He'll be able to play. He will be, kise kutniti bhi kar lenge. He will be able to he will be good in juggling with 2 or 3 issues together. He will be also good in dividing things. And on the other hand, he will be also good at, in terms of how to deal or how to get away from, 12th house, it has Saturn, Sun and Mercury. And whenever, his major planet, which is 48 to 60, in 12th house, it has Saturn, Sun, Mercury, which shows, kind of a 12th house is a very important house. It's a house which shows how will you invest. So he would be able to invest because the 12th house, which happens to be Taurus, the Lord Venus is with Mars and Mercury is there gone to the second house. There is an exchange between Mercury and Venus. So he will be able to communicate. He will be able to talk and he will be able to use those things to his advantage in his profession. I mean, in his profession and his prestige. So, here I do not see him to be a person who is a very straight person who would have, a set of rules and he will follow those rules. He would be a person who would be operating from a position of strength. I mean, he would be operating from a position where he makes his rules. But he will also have the ability in this period to, to be able to talk, communicate, cut, relate, dissect. Those kinds of things which are, which we can say, Chanakya ki niti bhi ho gaya. Apart from being a good, a Martian person, his whole Mars is through Mercury. His whole aggression is through talking. His whole aggression is through playing with 3 to 4 things together. So that would be his, way of operating between 48 to 60. Now, if I see that 49, 50, 51, 52. 52 will be a good period, but he would face kind of people who are around him. 52, 53 would be a period, but people around him may not be as, he cannot be very sure about them because Ketu is always a planet which is a secretive planet. So you may have somebody standing beside you, but he will be there to stab you from the back. So that would be there at the age of 52. So I mean, I was counting from here that we 49, 50, 49, 50, 50, 52. 53 would be a time when he would be faced with challenges. 53rd year, I mean, it will be a time when he will be faced with kind of challenges both in his profession, but he will do a good job. He will do a good job again with the ability of his being able to talk, communicate, and think, do 3 to 4 things together. That would be again would be there in his this thing. And since Sun is there and Sun is with Saturn, father never does bad for us. This thing. So 53rd year, I would say that, I mean, again, I come back, I keep on forgetting. This was 49, 50, 51, 53rd year, I see him, having issues with authority, but he will be able to manage it by those kinds of things. 54 is a very good year for him. Whatever negativity, whatever things, plot, scheming, whatever he has happened, he'll be able to overpower them and, get ahead. Move with it. So that would be his 54th year. 55th year would be not a very good year. 56th year will be again a year of hardship. I mean, there would be turmoils. There would be issues which would come. So that was 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. 56th year. 57th year is an excellent year. From 57th year is an excellent year. And at the age of 57, I feel that would be a time when he would be poised to take a leapfrog. And the period of 57 will be a year of when he will go from one level to a different level, where he will change things. He will change the method of how politics has to be done. So that's about 5 to 6 years. Down the line, he would come out with a different kind of thing. So net would be that 50, 52, where he would be facing deception. He should be careful with people. 53, again, a year when he has to face his political enemies. There could be a threat to his power, but he'll be able to manage it through the masses. Okay, 54th is a good year. 53, 54 will be a good year, and then 55, 56. I mean, there will be issues of different kinds, but 57th, 58th year from now would be a year when a new era starts and he would come to a good position. The whole horoscope has a combination of both being a strategist as well as becoming a leader of the masses and being at the top position. I mean, you had Chanakya, who made Chandragupta Maurya, but Chandragupta Maurya was decaying. So in his case, there are combinations, and as we rotate Saturn also, if I rotate Saturn between 30 to 60 here, I mean, I've rotated it in my own way, I see again the same time, I mean 5 to 6 years down the line, he's coming to a position of elevation of a different kind. So that is where I feel that he's a person who has the potential of becoming something like a prime minister or equivalent. So that's what is my view of his horoscope, and the way I've analyzed it, I've explained it. I've also tried to explain through his horoscope how to rotate Jupiter and how to rotate Saturn. Saturn, of course, is 30 years here, and 30 to 60 is here. So 30 to 60 is again energizing. It gets the support of Jupiter. It energizes Mars. Saturn and Mars together are like Rahu, and Rahu becomes with Venus, and when Venus is with Rahu, it becomes very large. Venus with Rahu means you're entering a five-star hotel. So here it is in his, in his kind of a 10th house, and aspected by Jupiter, second house to Saturn. So between 30 to 60, by the end of 60th year, before, he will be a five-star man. He will be a man to reckon with. So therefore, I feel that he has the potential of becoming the Prime Minister of the country, because there is this huge thing which I'm trying to explain is, even Saturn says that before 60th, he will be like a five-star hotel, big person, a big man person. If you look at the person as a hotel, he would be a huge person who would be respected, and people will be awed to enter into it. So that is where in my way, I'm trying to explain to you that I feel that before the age of 60, he would be on a different elevated field. More after 56, 57, that's the time. By the end of 60, he should be on a very different level altogether. There are 2 years which are bad, which I've tried to tell you a little bit, but then not gone into the details of that. So this is my view of the horoscope of Yogi Adityanath with my analysis. And of course, you have to rotate Mercury, Venus, Sun and Moon to look at various things and when the event, what kind of event will happen, because these are the planets that actually tell you about what he will talk, or what will happen in terms of Venus is all about Rajniti. So these are the planets which will tell you the minor things. If somebody comes to show an horoscope, then you have to see those things to come to pinpoint a particular event. And in Nadi system, which I have done, and I couple it with Vedic astrology, with KP, with even I use Atmakarak and Amatikarak also. Altogether, but the basic thing is, everything is moving. It's for our convenience, we make houses, etc. Everything is moving. We do take houses into consideration, but there is a movement of planets, and then you have to superimpose transit also over it, and to understand it. And of course, how the planet energize each other. So that is what I see in his horoscope, more or less. And what I was trying to explain to you is that by 60, he would be on where he could perhaps become the Prime Minister of the country. Has the potential. This is my view, a limited view, or whatever astrology I know. Thanks, bye for now.